Ange Postecoglou's Premier League hiatus is over. The Australian manager has been announced as Nottingham Forest's new head coach. So for more, we are joined by Socceroos legend and Stan Sport commentator Craig Foster this morning. Good to see you this morning.
How are you?
Busy, big news this morning. So a roller coaster few months for Ange. Obviously, he got let go by Tottenham earlier on in the year.
About 3 months.
Yeah, did you expect him to be back so soon?
Well, we were hopeful, but it is a really outstanding opportunity. It's great that it has come so early in the season. There's only 3 games gone of the EPL, of course, so that gives him a chance to change the playing style, which you'll have to do because Nottingham Forest play the opposite to what he's known for, whether with Celtic or with Australia or indeed with Spurs. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but it's so important because it's a club that's pushing the biggest clubs. You know, last season they sat in 3rd a lot. I think alongside probably Newcastle and Aston Villa, one of only 3 clubs that are really pushing that top echelon. So that's important. So it gives him an opportunity now to push again for that top 4 or 5 positions with Nottingham Forest, and that's a fantastic position to be in. It's pretty rare for a club of this stature and in this position to be available, that role to be available so early in the season. I mean, quite frankly, Ange should never have been sacked, but it's also pretty crazy that this Nuno has been sacked. He did an amazing job there. So in a way, that's good because the team's in a really good place. They lost their last game, but they're sitting in 10th. They're on 4 points, which is not a bad start to the season. So everything's kind of in place for him except the personnel to play the way he wants to. I think the only one negative about it is that it came after the transfer window has just closed. So, like, you know, if Marinakis, the boss, was going to do it, he should have done it 2 weeks ago and provided Ange an opportunity to then purchase a few players, maybe move some out and already start to build. And, of course, the big thing is that they're in the Europa League. In which case he won that last season and you know, so that's an incredible opportunity.
Well, that's a big one as well because he obviously ended Tottenham's trophy drought, their 17-year trophy drought. He didn't have as much success, though, in the Premier League with Tottenham. So how do you think he'll go in the Premier League with Nottingham?
Well, you know, as I said at the end of last season, the injuries that he had at Spurs were not solitary, but were the main factor in, you know, a horrible season in the EPL with 22 losses and so on. But then he demonstrated that he could manage in Europe again to, as you say, win a trophy for a club that had been really struggling to win for a long time. And he had to break the kind of, you know, psychological barrier in a way. So a lot of Spurs fans are very appreciative to say, you know, you had to kind of hold in there because now you've got Daniel Levy, you know, who was the boss of the club, who's now left as well. So, you know, whilst Thomas Frank is doing well, the club is in a kind of flux, and people understand the situation he was in. And to be able to win that was, you know, a great achievement. So therefore, he understands that competition. He's also, it hasn't started yet, the league phase of the Europa, which of course we have on Stan, and the EPL on Stan, right? So 9:30 p.m. this Saturday night, the first game for Nottingham Forest with Ange is against Arsenal away, which is incredibly difficult, but, you know, amazing a match to be watching. His first time in the dugout for Nottingham Forest. It's really fantastic. By the way, the Socceroos won the Soccer Ashes last night with Iran Kunda and Mo Toure, this next young generation. So we've had a very welcome and a fabulous 24 hours for Australian football.
Yeah, big 24 hours. Craig, thanks for joining us this morning at All Eyes 9:30 this Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah, looking forward to it.